Kamal. And I would say briefly that with all the back and forth, yesterday, His Lordship Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni was sworn in with very resounding words. We must uphold the independence of the judiciary and the sovereignty of the country, both from the president and, of course, from the Chief Justice himself. Let me come to you.
Let me say congratulations to our new CJ, albeit the issues surrounding his vetting, and also even before his vetting, the issues surrounding the judiciary, as it were. I've always maintained that the only place we can all run to seek redress and of course to seek remedies is the courts, and where the independence of that entity is in question, then of course I will not know where citizens will run to. I pray and hope that his promise to uphold the integrity, the independence of the judiciary indeed is going to see the light of day. That is my prayer. That said, we as a party in principle did not take part in the vetting of the CJ. And you all saw what happened. That's why I said that, look, despite all this, he is still the CJ, as it were. And our principle was that simple, that look, we have actually had for ourselves a constitution. That constitution has given us what it says are the laws of this country that we need to follow. That constitution says that procedural impropriety, when it is impugned, must actually be traced to its logical conclusion. And that is why we thought that, look, if the outgone CJ had issues with the way she was treated, with the way it's not about her, it's about the constitution I'm talking about, so that we can have the established constitutionalism that we all have actually upheld for ourselves and wish for ourselves, as it were. Yes, whether or not the issues are settled, we still have a CJ anyway. But we think in principle,
legally sworn in, legally sworn in, through the process.
But we thought that all those matters that of course were pending should have actually been brought to rest before we go ahead to have that. But hey, who are we? Today, I've always maintained that, look, whatever we do in this life, there are two things: economy and politics. You can never say you are out of it. Some people who say, look, this is work for politicians, I am out of it. Sometimes I cringe. I go like, whatever decision or policy is made by a politician affects you, whether positive or negative. I also say whatever decision is made economically also affects you, as it were. So you cannot throw your hands in despair, or you cannot sit aloof to say that you are not part of whatever is there. Nonetheless, once we have stated our position, we have stated our principle, and we still believe in it, it doesn't mean that we cannot hail the Chief Justice. You see, it's not about his persona. Bafuboni has actually proven himself to be one of the judges that we can revere or we can respect, as it were. On point of laws, all his judgments that you read, top notch. On the history of his, if you like, evolution or rising to the where he is, indeed, top notch. He's gone through a lot. But it is not about he as a person, it's about the institution. We have had him now. He's made some promises. We pray and hope that those promises will hold. And then, of course, we are going to have the sanctity of the judiciary upheld and upheld well. But hey, the way things are going, I've made this point and I'm continuing to make it again. Politicians or the executive, if the judiciary is not watching, and if the judiciary is not actually aware of this, I will mention this. If you allow we, the people in the executives, that's the politicians, we will jeopardize the judiciary. And I'm not saying this because of MPP or NDC. I am saying it because Ghanaians must have so much confidence in the judiciary arm of government. That arm of government, that's why I began by saying that the only place we can seek remedy and redress is there. But hey, the way things are going, I think gradually we are allowing ourselves to jeopardize the judiciary, in fact, directly or indirectly, which I pray and hope that members of the judiciary will stand up to the law, and should be fidelity to the law, fidelity to the constitution, and not fidelity to any appointor in this country. That said, I will say that congratulations to Bafuboni, congratulations to the newly sworn in justices not too long ago, and congratulations to also the entire judicial system of this country. We pray and hope that indeed their word to the law is what is going to be going forward.
Let me ask you this question. Do you follow social media, the members of your party on social media?
Very well.
Do you agree that by the actions of the minority and members of your party on the social media, you have kind of tainted the new CJ?
Tainted. In fact, when you say we have kind of tainted him, when you heard me, I said that it's not about his person. It's not about him. Why? He was appointed. Wait a minute.
You were required to take part.
There's a collective.
Your legal responsibility.
There's a collective impugning you're doing here.
Yes.
Trying to say that my party members, by extension, my party, is seen to be tainting the image of the CJ. I want to say no, not so much. Why? We were questioning. That's why I said we were questioning the principles around an independent judiciary.
Have you seen the statements that some people have said that the term of the Chief Justice will be coterminous with that of President Muhammad?
It is because of what I said earlier. If you have pending issues, if you had, you see, when we triggered Article 146 of the Constitution to remove the CJ, a lot of people thought that this was a dangerous path for us to all tread, especially when you do not have, when you have discretion to come to play. So when laws are actually tilted in a way that politics is read into it, you would have yourself to blame going forward, because such critiques will come up. So of course, that's why I said pending issues were there, and those pending issues ought to have been settled. Then we all move on in unison. So for you to hear some of this criticism and all that, obviously it has to do with that political coloration that we sought to give to that particular process, which was not very good to all of us.
If the CJ empanels the courts,
why? I heard the former CJ.
If the CJ empanels the courts and the ruling goes against, if it's the MPP involved, it goes against, will you accept it?
You see, because what many people do not even know is that political cases at the Supreme Court are very, very, very minute in terms of fraction.
But if it happens, would you agree?
If it does happen, you will look at the ratios. Why? Judgments have always been fought. Judgments have always been criticized. Judgments. We have had, there's a case I read about it some time ago, and I was told that such a case is not going to be cited by any lawyer in court at all, because it was a bad law. That is a law made by a judge. So I'm saying, if you ask the question whether or not the MPP will accept certain judgment which tilts against them, we will look at the ratios, and we have the right whatsoever to criticize it on point of law. So if by law it is not, we will actually come out against it, and we will point to the judgment. Not too long ago, my good friend Oliver Becker was on top of a judge who cited Animal Farm as a ratio. Not too long ago, Martin Amidou, the Venerable Martin Amidou, also came out to chastise a judgment. There are judgments like that. So even if you think you have your way, but trust me, posterity will come to you, and posterity will never be kind to you in that regard.